All of us here at St. John's Cathedral hope that you're having a wonderful fall break, whether you have kids in school or you're just enjoying a little bit of a change in the pace in our very busy lives. It's always nice to have a moment to slow down and appreciate life that seems to always be going so quickly around us. This Sunday, as we cap off this week of rest, we have a very interesting shift in our lectionary, in the readings that are appointed for our Sundays. We've had so many of these Sundays all through August and September where the gospel has had some very difficult parables, and our clergy have done, and bishop, have done an amazing job of untangling these very thorny parables that Jesus gives us. And we're shifting now as we get closer to the end of the season after Pentecost into some of the healing narratives and some of the stories of Jesus healing and people's reactions to that, and the idea of a wholeness or a holistic approach to health and what health really means. And it's not only about the body, but about our whole spirit and our whole selves, and that wholeness that Christ desires for us as we come centered into God. The epistle lesson also helps to set and contextualize the healing narrative that will come following in the gospel. And it talks about rushing towards this eternal reward. And the idea that this eternal reward is something that we can experience even now. It's not something only after death, but it's something that we can, when we are in our wholeness self, when we are in the image that God has created us, that we can experience that eternity. So we will have both of those ideas running side by side in the service. We will start off with "Oh, for a Thousand Tongues to Sing," a very familiar hymn that talks a lot about healing in a very temporal sense, in a body sense. But then we will also have prayers and music that will also be thinking about having that healing that comes from a more holistic sense. And significant with that, at the communion, the choir will be singing this setting of an early American folk melody, "Sweet Rivers." It's a text that was written by John Granade, and it was a tune originally written by William Moore that contemporary composer Reginald Unterseher has set. And it's very atmospheric. The text talks about crossing over Jordan and getting into that eternal reward. Had I the pinions of a dove, had I the wings of a dove, I would fly to that eternal reward. So that hunger for that wholeness. And I think trying to picture some of that sense of eternity, the composer has this very atmospheric piano accompaniment. And the choir comes in with this hushed early American melody. And it gains energy as that idea of being completely enraptured with the wholeness that God desires for us kind of comes over the listener. And so the piece continues to build into this great crescendo, and then it sort of fades away into that sense of eternity. So a lot of really great things happening as we shift into these final weeks, as we end the season after Pentecost, looking on towards the season of Advent that is, believe it or not, just around the corner. But as we move into this later stage of that season, we hope that you will come and find that healing with us here at St. John's Cathedral.